Hi, hey guys, we are going to start with our planning process today, the planning part of the writing process, which is right at the top, which happens right at the beginning. And you get a chance to kind of storm your brain and think about different things that you've done in your life. Oh my goodness, you've got pets, you've got vacations, you've got, I'm sure, some great family memories. But they don't have to be big like that. You can take anything that's happening, anything that has happened, and put it into a story. And believe it or not, you can put a lot of personality to make this story very exciting for readers to read, even if it's a kind of a bug you saw outside, or maybe you were driving, you were riding in the car through a gigantic rainstorm. Maybe you were pouring cereal this morning and it spilled all over the ground. Maybe really is endless. So take a second, think about something that you can think about, because whatever you can think about, you can talk about. Whatever you can talk about, you can write about. And we've already talked about different stages of writing, different kinds of writing. So while you're thinking about that, I'm going to show you how we're going to set up our draft book each week. So first, we always start with the date at the top. So today is 11-15-20, November 15th, 2020. So that's real important so you can see how your writing is going to grow throughout the year, and your parents can have this to put in their files if they need to, or take a picture of it. And then I always do 6 dots right in the middle. So you've got the 2 lines, you put 1 dot in the middle of that line. I hope you can see okay. 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, 5 dots, 6 dots. And then we draw a line from left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right, because we read and we write from left to right. And then I'm going to set up my paper, and you'll see why we're going to do it like this. But every time you start a story, this is how we're going to set up your paper. Dot, dot, X, and you make it in the middle of the space. And I'll show you why in a second. Dot, dot, X, 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 dot, dot, X. Hopefully my kids can figure out how to edit this, so you don't have to watch me do all of this. Maybe you can just pause it and do it on your own in your draft book. So each day your moms are going to model a part of the writing process that we talked about. So your mom will have her own draft book, or if she wants to be on a big piece of paper, that's fine too, but I usually do just a draft book when I work with Rocco. But the important thing is, mamas, that your kids are learning the writing process and seeing it modeled from you. That's a really, really powerful tool. So today we are going to work on planning. So I've set up my paper for my new story. And at the top of the paper is where you're going to put your sketch. It's not fancy. It's just with pencil. It is not colored in. It is not perfect. This is not the part of the writing process where we get all fancy and pretty. That comes for our published work, because that stops us. That kind of stops us and makes us focus on how to make things perfect. And the important part of this process, this part of the process, is getting those ideas, getting that exciting story onto the paper. So you're going to think of a story, and most of you are getting a little older, and I know that you can write a little bit, so I'm not going to start at the 1-part sketch, because I think most of you are a little older than some of the smaller kids that I have done this with before. So I'm going to start to think about my story and what I want to write about, and I can start drawing a picture. You know, something new for us this year has been starting CC. We never have done this before. My kids have never have homeschooled before. So my story that I'm choosing to write about today, will yours be different? Probably. I mean, you can write about CC, that's fine, but you are not copying my story. This is mine, and you are going to get a chance to write yours. So I want to tell you that on every, and you will see I am not the best illustrator, but I don't have to be, especially in this part of the plan. I'm just drawing my picture. Okay, and there we are driving to school. Looks like it's in a milk truck, doesn't it? But it's not. It's just our truck there. And on every Tuesday, our first stop before we get to CC is a little tradition that the kids and I have started, and we go to DD. Do you know what that means? Dunkin' Donuts. So we go through the drive-through there, and here I am so excited to get to see you all at CC each day. There I am with the steering wheel. You can put a couple details in there, but it doesn't have to be too much. There I am. Now, did I spend a long time on this? No. I just want to make sure that there's enough in there so that I can tell when I look at my plan that, oh, that's about a car, must be us, and actually, I should make these windows here. And all my 3 kids are getting ready to go. There's Giada in the middle with her curly hair, Sophia in her straight hair, Rocco in the back. All right. So you can tell that we are going and we are driving to Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, the little door there. Nothing too fancy, right? So on these CC days, on Tuesday, I get the kids up. I could even put that in my sketch if I wanted to. But right now we just go to Dunkin' Donuts before we go to CC Day. And to make myself remember what CC looks like, I've got my memory board, my memory workboard with my timeline cards. I've got all the different things that we're learning on it. Not too many details here, not too fancy. Here's the door. Here's kind of the carpet with some tables. Okay, not too much there. I'm sure yours can be better than this. So anyways, that's the beginning of my plan. So I have 2 parts in this plan. What happens first on Tuesdays and then what happens second. So the important thing about this part of the planning is that you put a number 1 and you circle it if you have a beginning and a second part. And as this process goes, you're going to learn all different kinds of planning. So we're just starting with a sketch, but we're going to learn a whole bunch of other ones. And if your mom feels that you are ready to skip ahead to some other parts of some other kinds of planning, I have everything from webs, moms, to word webs, to picture webs, to lists, to timelines. This can reach all the way into doing research projects on a different topic that your child might be interested in. So if this seems a little elementary for you, just hold on. This is just getting the outline, just this getting the template kind of set up. Okay, so that is my plan for today. And mamas and kiddos, sometimes it's going to be up to your mom, but sometimes if you spend 10 minutes on your plan and think about a couple details to add to your story, that might be it. And then the next day you would pick up and then you would start the drafting that we're going to do next. But for the purposes of this model video today, we worked on planning. So I hope that helps, and we're going to cut it here and then we're going to move on down. All right, thanks guys. Happy writing.